seems to be quite the cook. And is it your birthday or your brother-in-law's birthday?
Brother-in-law.
Brother-in-law. All right. So good morning, everyone. We're just chit-chatting here as we go live this morning. We're talking about my mother-in-law's visit, and she cooked us fish stew last night for dinner, and I never ever had fish stew before, so that was really a delight. And then I just confessed to Kate that I made some cheesy biscuits. I told her I was making them to go with the fish stew, but I was really making them in case I didn't care for the stew. But all was well. It was actually really good. So good morning, everyone, and welcome to Coffee with Colleen and I am the founder of Monkeys and Hats Digital Marketing and Websites. And my fabulous co-host this morning is...
Hi, I'm Kate Holmes. I am the author of Too Good to Be Through, the complete operations manual for resale and consignment shops. And I'm also the web host at tgtbt.com. And I'm delighted to be here today. We're going to talk about one of our favorite subjects, which was actually suggested by people both on Colleen's group, where you're at now, and on my group. They both expressed a concern about how you manage to, how you manage to move your customers when you move your store. So that's a wonderful, wonderful topic. Colleen, I'm going to let you start off because it's your show.
Okay, well, thanks, Kate. I forgot to check your page to see if anyone had commented. Sometimes I go on your page and I type in the topic we're talking about to see if there's questions or comments, and I actually forgot to do that. So this is, it's a really fun time because you're moving and you're expanding. You're going to a whole new location. And the biggest thing is to bring people along with you right from the very beginning of your journey. Like, bring people along. Start sharing in the whole move process with them. And take a video of your new location. Kelly from Divine Consign moved in 23,000 square feet of space. I mean, it was ginormous. So she got on a scooter and she's like scooted up and down the space and had a video camera with her and was showing everybody like the space on her scooter. And like, okay, this is where the couches are going to be, and this is where you're going to, she really invited everyone to share in that journey from the beginning. And I think including your customers right from the very, very get-go is really, really important. What do you think, Kate?
Definitely, that was one of my first points on my little list of notes of things not to forget to mention. But the very first thing on my list of notes is clarity. I have watched folks move. I am never quite sure with their messages and their videos and their posts and so on. Are they moving their store? Are they opening a second store? Is the second store going to be the same as the first? It's always very, very confusing to me. And you need to assume when you're doing social media for a move, you need to assume that nobody has ever heard a single word about this move before. Don't take anything for granted. If they don't know where Oak Street is, you're going to lose them. If you're going to point out, as Kelly did, how close her moved store was to her old location, and you do it with a video trip, make sure that every single time you say something, you are totally clear about what you're doing. Are you closing the first location? Are you adding a location? When are you moving? Why are you moving? People are nosy. I moved because my landlord decided he wanted to sell the building, and the person who wanted to buy the building didn't want me, so I kind of had to move. And that's something that people are interested in. And more than that fact that they're interested in is that they'll remember it. You're telling them a story. That's what marketing is always about, telling a story.
Oh, yes. Spot on. And right now, more than ever, Facebook is about stories. They even have their little video thing. It's called Facebook Stories. So, yes, tell your story. And I think you're so spot on, Kate. like to make sure people know that this is Oak Street and don't just assume that everyone knows where Oak Street is, because you are going to get some new customers. Even if you're moving a half a mile away, that's a half a mile like to the west or to the north or to the east, and you'll be able to get a half a mile, worth of new demographics. So making sure that customers really know exactly where you're located, and taking lots of photos of what's around you in your new location, and then also making it very positive, because I don't know, like, have the excitement and have the enthusiasm, and like we're expanding to a new location, and even if you have to move, because even if you square footage, it's like we're expanding, make it into a really, really big positive thing, because people, I think by nature, humans are creatures of habit. I mean, some people love change and they love to live by the seat of their pants, but for the most part, people tend to be creatures of habit, and don't like change, and might not want to drive to your new location. And I think what Kate was referring to with Kelly, when Kelly moved her store, I mean, Kelly really did not move that far away. And people were like, oh my gosh, that's like so far away. So this is a really super cool, fun thing to do, is you literally put on your live video, you get in your car, and have like a Starbucks coffee, Pepsi, see it, and you take a sip of Pepsi, and you drive out of the driveway, and you take another sip of Pepsi. And so basically, you sip your Pepsi all the way to the new location, and you go, look, we are exactly 7 Pepsi sips away from our brand new location. And another thing you can do is do a song. You do a video, and you put on a Billy Joel song or a Bon Jovi song or whatever kind of song, Elton John song, whatever. And you go, we are exactly, 1.5 Elton John songs away from our new location. So make it fun and do lots and lots of videos. Like, I think that's really key. You're not going to do one video and one social media post and one email that says we moved. Like, it's a story, like Kate said. Like, tell your moving story and really keep it going.
Yeah, repetition is very, very crucial. We all know that very few of our followers ever see any given post. So it's not out of line to do 4 or 5 posts a day at different times of day about different aspects of your move, and do it every single day. It's very important. Now, that whole idea about telling a story, I had a consultee once in Indianapolis, and she was moving her store, and she was on the outskirts of Indianapolis, so traffic was not the best. So she was concerned that people wouldn't get to her new store, and I suggested that she use kind of a temporary tagline, and her temporary tagline is, "We're moving uptown," because she was moving north, closer to the core of Indianapolis. So "we're moving uptown" is something that people can remember. Uptown, okay, closer to town. And of course, moving uptown sounds like you're going to be bigger and better and more sophisticated and have more wonderful things. So if you can think of a temporary tagline to go along with your business, that'd be great. You can do time-lapse photography and get it all into a video. Ask your 15-year-old employee how to do that. Moving things around in the new store. Have a poll about, what color should the store be painted. Most of your posts need to have the picture of the outside of the new location on it, so people get used to looking for that. So many things, but the thing is that repetition, repeating yourself, giving all the details all the time, having that information on your website. Dear friend, just opened a second location. Add some stuff on social media. There is not a peep on her website that she's opening a second store. Not a peep. Now, that might very well be because whoever manages her website, hasn't gotten around to doing it yet. And that goes back to my argument of you need to know how to fix your website so that you're not reliant upon somebody that you only know through email to fix your website for you. Couple of things that are neglected when people move. Do you send out emails? Do you send out emails every week, twice a week? Do you send out postcards? Remember postcards? Postcards are wonderful. Send those to all of your folks right before you move. Another neglect is that once you're in the new location, you figure, okay, we're here, everybody come on in, and you forget to keep telling people that we're no longer on Elm Street, we're now on Oak Street. So don't forget, this is a real big campaign, and don't be discouraged if you lose some folks, you're going to. But as Colleen mentioned earlier, you're going to gain some new ones too.
And along the lines of emails, Sonia, we did a live video to launch our new third location online. Yes, you did. That was really, really brilliant. And that is great. Thanks for reminding me, Sonia, because I'm going to mention that too. When you get to your new store, have a ribbon cutting for your new store. If you're a member of the chamber, do a chamber ribbon cutting or join the new chamber. In Kelly's instance, even though she moved a short ways away, she's literally like in a new area where she's in a new chamber now. So she joined that chamber, did a big ribbon cutting, but you can do a really big ribbon cutting with your customers, do a grand opening party, or and also with your verbiage, to use words like now open here or now open in our new location, things like that. So it lets people know that you're not a new store, that you're an existing store, you're opening in a new location. But I wanted to say about the emails, super fun graphics out there. Like we found these graphics of like a dog, and the dog was bubble wrapped, and it was so freaking cute. And we used this dog that was bubble wrapped in a lot of emails, and we had really high open rates because it was a cute graphic. And then we found another graphic where there was maybe 5 people standing in a row, and they had like boxes over their head with like faces drawn in big black magic markers. So you can even do that with your own staff if you want, like take your own staff and have them draw faces on the boxes. But there's like some really fun graphics to use that really show you're moving and imply you're moving. And then you can take those graphics and you can put your new address on everything. Another thing to do is 2 things. Number one, on your website, and your new location, like you can screenshot Google with your new location on it, and then you put it into PicMonkey or Pixie, or like I like to use Canva, and you put a big arrow and you put like new location, and so you put that on your website, and then you also make that your Facebook header and your Twitter header and make posts out of that so people can see. And if you want to put like your old location on there so people can see really how close it is or where it is in proximity, like that's a really good idea as well. And then keep those going for a while. So use it as your Facebook header for like a month or so, and then take it off, but keep putting those posts up. Like use a social media scheduler and schedule them like several times a week so they still pop up, and put them in your emails and stuff like that.
Another thing that you need to do once you're in your new location is to have motivators to get people to explore the new location, to get them to actually go there and see what it's all about. And that, of course, would be raffles, door prizes, events, after hours, sip and shops, all sorts of things like that. I mean, really, really layer those on for the entire first season that you're somewhere. If you move in July, you're going to want to be able to do those motivation events probably for 4 or 5 months until they get into their winter mode of shopping. So don't stint. Don't move and then just sit there and think, oh, people are going to find me. They're not going to find you unless you give them a darn good reason to get up and get out. And again, tell that story. We're having a drawing for XYZ because somehow it relates to your new location, whether it's a gift certificate to the wonderful bakery next door, whether it's free classes for your child at the dance studio that is 4 blocks down. Again, using that to fix your new location in people's minds. But I want to say one thing that I think is really, really important, and that's timing. One of the people on my board said something about we're getting ready to move next May. What should I do? My answer to her would be absolutely nothing. If you expect people to remember that you're moving next May, they're never going to do that. I mean, you can barely remember that you're going to do it, right? You're not the most important thing in their life. So don't do anything until you're really ready to show that progress in the video, to send out the emails, to use the bag stuffers, to write the press releases. Get everything concentrated in the time period where you're moving. Also, what happens if you announce it too much in advance is people stop coming to your current location because they're never quite sure. Are they still on Elm Street or have they moved to Oak Street? Oh, well, forget it. I'll think about it next week. And of course, when you're moving is the time that you really need to sell stuff, both to cut down on your move and to give yourself some cash to make your store move properly. So don't do it too much in advance. Plot it out very, very carefully. Don't even tell your friends and family that you're moving because the word will get out and you'll have that dichotomy of, do I go here? Do I go there? Oh, it's too complicated. I'll go to Walmart's instead.
That's really, really such great advice because it's true. Like if you think about it in your own neighborhood, when you start telling people that you're going to move, like people kind of stop being quite as friendly because they're kind of preparing for your loss or and your customers, it's confusing. There's so many messages that people get nowadays. So I kind of feel like when you're actually physically starting the process of like packing and you're getting the boxes and you're packing up the things and you're kind of starting and you're getting the new space decorated and painted and ready, I kind of feel like that's about the time to start your messaging, but then keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. And so in the case of Kelly, like a lot of new construction, there was a delay. Like that just happens. There was a delay. So think of a fun video, maybe you're just taking a video, having coffee, and you're like, okay, what's going to get done faster? Our occupancy permit or my cup of coffee? Like just something kind of fun. So keep people in the loop. Don't stop on your story. It's a little bit like skipping a chapter in a book. Keep it going. Does anyone have any? We have some very seasoned and experienced store owners on here. Good morning, Lisa. Lisa is from Hillsborough, North Carolina. So Lisa, how far are you from me right now? How far are you from Huntersville, North Carolina? Good morning, Ellen and Jody and Pam and Adele. Hi, Adele and Sonia and Tracy and Ellen, Amanda, Angie. Lots of amazing, fabulous people watching us. Do you guys have any questions, any comments?
I just wanted to make one point that Sonia mentioned and we didn't really talk about was Sonia treated her online store as though it were her third location. She didn't just start putting things up on the internet and hope that people would find them. She made a whole occasion out of opening the online store. And again, you can use the cute little temporary taglines as in, we know you always wanted to shop in your jammies, here's your chance. That kind of a thing. To really, really point out that, yes, they can go online now and buy things. I think the biggest mistake we all make is we think that we're the center of the universe, and we're not. People are not going to remember us unless we keep on telling them. Very, very low chance of annoying your followers, your email followers, your customers. Very low chance of annoying them by telling them again. Very high chance of losing customers if you don't tell them often enough. And in as many ways as you can.
Yeah, and you know what, along those lines too, Kate, is remember to update Google because you now have a new store location, and so many people will go onto Google or go onto Yelp or all your social media, but there are over 300 places. Most people don't know this. There are over 300 places where your store information shows up or can show up on the internet. And that is an awful lot of updating. So there is software that you can use to update everything all at one time, but make sure that you at least get the main ones done, and you can worry about the smaller ones later. But there's like, oh my gosh, I can't tell you how many times we see old information pop up on Google, and it's just like, wow, we haven't had that store in a long time, or we haven't been in that location. So make sure that you go and update all your social media, and especially Yelp and Google. Go to Google and update your information in Google, because that is key. Oh my gosh. All right. Yes, Adele, I remember Sonia did a ribbon cutting on her online store. It was super cute. And Richard can get you on all 300 of them. Yes, he can. Sonia is benefiting from that right now. And that's pretty amazing. Let's see. Anything else, Kate?
I don't think so, except we need a topic for next week. So anybody got some ideas? Speak up now or forever hold your peace, and Colleen and I will choose something we want to talk about.
So while you're thinking of what you'd like us to talk about next week, let's just put in our little plug for the NARTS conference. NARTS is coming up. Gosh, not quite a month, a month and 10 days. It will be NARTS. So that means I have a month and 10 days to lose weight to fit in this like super awesome Kate Spade dress that I bought from Too Good to Be Through. NARTS is super amazing. I know we have a lot of people on here that are members and a lot of people that are not members. And NARTS is just, a really, really amazing organization. And the conference is phenomenal. Just the information that you get from the conference, and the inspiration and the energy and the enthusiasm, I think is pretty incredible. So just want to put a plug out there for NARTS. And I'm giving a workshop presentation on digital marketing and what's new, what's in, what's working, what's out, what's not. And Kate, what are you giving a presentation on this year?
Oh, I'm sure you've all heard it before, so I don't need to tell you, right? Right. My workshop will be on the user experience, the reason that people will get up off their couches and come into your physical store, the reason people will get off of Facebook and go to your website, why they should bother going to your business, helping your business along. I'm really, really looking forward to the NARTS conference. It's going to be in Columbus, Ohio, which is where I got my start in the consignment business. And I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm pretty well guessing that one of the stops on the bus tour will be the shop that I founded one more time, which is now in the capable hands of Chris Cowman Swanson, who of course is a NARTS board member, past president, head of the education department. So if there is ever a reason for you to go to conference, you need to go to the one in Columbus. It's easy to get to, it's easy to get around. You get to see Colleen, you get to see me, you get to see one more time. You can even see probably Adele if you can grab her in between running around, making sure that this conference is the best industry convention that you literally have ever been to. So we'll see you there.
Awesome. That's awesome, Kate. And Sonia suggests doing a show on what followers have learned and programs implemented from a NARTS conference. That's a really good topic. Oh my God, we could probably talk for like months and months on that, because there's so many amazing things that people have learned and implemented. So that is a really cool one. We're going to have to think about how we could present that, because there's so much. Okay, we're going to have to think about that. Great idea, Sonia. All right, everyone. I just want to wish you a phenomenal week. I'm wishing you all like amazing sales. The weather is beautiful. The snow is done. Well, unless you're Karen or you live up in those Canadian countries. I don't know about that. But Kate, what are your words? Oh, Kate's frozen at the moment.
No, you're frozen. I'm here. Are you frozen? I think sometimes we just get frozen to one another, but hopefully everybody else is watching our beautiful, cute little smiles and our little head nods. And I'm going to say today, as my farewell, go out there on the sales floor and sell something. Bye now.